So hello everyone, hello on this beautiful Friday, hello to all of the participating teams, hello to all of the enthusiasts that decided to spend an afternoon, at least in Eastern European time, together with us. And welcome to the semi-final of our Integrity Hackathon. We had amazing 2 days of more than 10 hours of hard work and 13 participating teams together working hard with all of the mentors. I just want to remind everyone that we have gathered here to come up with innovative solutions for a more transparent Europe, which could potentially be implemented and of course developed in other countries as well. 7 different challenges you were choosing from, and all of them the ones that can help us all to tackle real and existing challenges that our nations are facing today. Once again, we would like to spend a moment to get some feedback from you. How is everyone feeling? I'd like you all to jump now on the Slido platform. I can remind you that the password is word integrity and cast your votes. Maybe you're feeling good, maybe you're feeling stressed before the final pitches, or any other emotions that you're currently having. Tell us more about this. And while you're making your voice, I'd like to invite one of the mentors to share his impressions of the teamwork sessions. Please welcome Šarūnas Vaikasas, Head of Asset Recovery Division of the Investigation Coordination Department at Special Investigation Services of Republic of Lithuania on the virtual stage. Hello, Šarūnas. Do you hear me well? I am aware that you're participating, that's the first time you're participating in such kind of event. So what are the first impressions? How were the 2 days?
I worked with.
Obviously. And looking back at 7 different challenges, was it easy for the teams to basically choose the challenge that you wanted to tackle, or the teams were changing their opinion on the go?
I guess most teams were quite sure about the topics they were working on, and personally, I was participating with it, in challenges with the 2 teams related to the frozen assets, and it was very challenging for all of us, and also very exciting experience, because there was like real big discussions and exchanging of ideas, even futuristic ideas. So I'm really happy to be a part of this.
It's like go big or go home, right?
That's right.
But if you could choose one challenge out of 7, which one would you choose yourself personally? And you think that's the most important challenge we're facing at the moment?
Definitely, I would choose a frozen assets challenge, because in my work field, this is the main thing, to be able to tackle illegal obtained assets. So frozen assets topic for me would be the topic.
And it hurts to see how the money is just sitting out there doing nothing, right?
Absolutely.
Can I have your promise that you will also join us for the future hackathons if you enjoyed it so much?
It's hard to give any promises in these difficult times, but I can promise you that I will do everything I can to be a part of this.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Šarūnas, for your participation and dedication. And hopefully you'll have an amazing time looking at the results we're going to present in just a while. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on. We are extremely grateful for all the hard job that our mentors did together with the teams. And I'd like to spend a short break now. I have a short break now, okay? So welcome back, everyone. And as you see, I'm already being joined by our jury members. If you don't remember from yesterday, I'd like to present each and every one, the people that will decide on your future. It's very important. Please welcome Žydrūnas Bartkus, Director of Special Investigation Services of Lithuania. Hello,
Hello.
Žydrūnas. How's your day so far?
Great day.
Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling fearful? Are you going to be very
Everything
nice
is
and sweet?
very interesting for me. I'm
Okay.
waiting.
It's first time, right?
Not this is second time for me.
Okay, you're getting there. You're getting there. Of course, obviously, Gerimantas Bakanas, CEO at Vilnius District Heating Company.
Hello.
Hello, Gerimantas. How was your experience at looking at the results, or you haven't checked anything yet? Be honest with me.
Yeah, honest with you.
Yes.
Okay, I think that I'm just now at this moment I still waiting, and I hope that the result will be great for all of the team.
Obviously, even if we saw the participating teams, if we saw some details that were already public, the final result is that what matters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, also together with us today is Eglė Radvilė, author of Vilnius Digital Strategy, Digital Train Board, and Hardware Digital Program member. Hello, Eglė.
Hello.
How was your day so far?
Oh, it was a little bit in a hurry, but I was trying to do my best, and now I'm relaxing and waiting for the results.
Well, it's obviously September, right? So we are used to it. Every year the same. And also, we are having some of the jury members joining us online, not because they don't want to be here present, but because sometimes there's a distance that spreads us apart. I'd like to invite Drago Kost, chairman of the Working Group on Bribery in International Business Transaction, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Hello, Mr. Drago. Do you hear us well? I believe there's some minor technical issue, but please respect the signs, everyone. Mr. Drago, do you hear me? You're muted. You do remember last year the main hashtag of the year was unmute yourself.
Yeah, I remember it now.
Okay. So how was your day so far, and where are you connecting us with us from?
From Croatia, and looking forward to see, let's say, the results and what I seen already. It really makes me very, very interested in final results.
And you don't even imagine the pain we're feeling now, the Lithuanian sitting here and talking to a person from Croatia. We envy you. Okay, let's move on. Our next jury member today is going to be Martin Krutner, Dean Emeritus at International Anti-Corruption Academy, International Council. Hello, Mr. Martin.
Hello everyone, and I'm looking forward to participating. Best regards from Vienna, Austria. I'm happy to join you.
That's it. Thank you so much. Let's move on then to our next jury member, Roberto Perez Roca, Director at International Anti-Corruption Conference Series and Global Initiatives, and also representative of Transparency International. I just got the information we are experiencing minor technical difficulties, but that will not stop us from the jury evaluations. Also, dear everyone, we have many teams participating, but we do have few of the jury members, but because of a possibility of, how it's called, the conflict of interest, they will not be evaluating, but because of this, we will double some points of the other jury members to make it as fair as possible. And also, I'd like to present you the head of the jury, the president of the board, Eglė Radvilė. She will make the final voice, right?
For sure.
For sure. Amazing. So, dear jury members, what do you think? We have few more minutes before we start. So what were the main challenges, or what do you think what were the most important challenges that you would love everyone, not only these hackathon participants, to actually solve in the future? Maybe I can start from you.
Okay. You know, I am waiting for ideas, but I hope that ideas will be not not only in the national level, but will help us think together about international level, how to fight corruption and how to make Europe or world more transparent. So I haven't seen till now any ideas, so I am very like nervous, waiting first of idea we will see.
Amazing, amazing. Agla, what do you actually think about the overall idea of this hackathon? And maybe you would also like to use your chance to inspire more people to think about the global issues that we're facing.
I think that integrity means, of course, part of transparency, and to talk about transparency and innovation and all these problems or solving problems. So it's a really very huge experience, and I hope that some countries or some international institution will see it and will do, and it will be just a start. So I'm very happy to have all these people who can think forward.
Amazing. Mr. Gerimantas, I know that that's not the first hackathon you're participating in. You've seen multiple of the pitches, you've seen multiple of the teams and results. What is your personal opinion? What it actually takes to win a hackathon?
Yeah, I think that first of all, you have to create a brave idea.
Big vision.
Big vision, yeah. And you have to create a product which we can develop in near the future. And I think it's more important.
You mean the short-term goals
Yeah,
should be
short,
the key
yes,
in the
yes,
hackathon?
yes.
I absolutely agree with you. If you're building a startup, then yes, you should be looking 10 years in the front. But if you're participating in a hackathon, we should do something that hurts us very much today. Okay, thank you so much for your answers, dear jury members. And let's look at the Slido, the voting results, because I asked all the teams to give us a chance to understand how are they feeling before the final pitches. Yes, I see that the majority of the votes are saying that they're excited. Obviously, I don't think they're being honest at this point, but that's fine. Let's be then excited. Let's be then excited, and let's move on to our pitches. But before we start, few of the rules for our final pitches. So each and every team will delegate one presenter. Obviously, before we will have a Q&A session, we will look at the recorded video of the final idea and the final result that the team has developed in these 2 days. The jury then will have a chance to ask questions, and then we will go to the next team. Okay, of course, I'd like to remind you that we are not here just to play and maybe talk about the great ideas. We're here for the win. So the final of today's event, we will announce 3 teams that are going to the very big final, La Grande Finale, in November, that they will be participating live here in Vilnius, and they will be fighting for an amazing prize of 15,000 worth coupon for a remote course at the prestigious universities of the world. Just think about the potential that you are being given here. Okay, so let's begin with our first team, and I'd like to invite the first team, number 1. Vilnius Vystymo Kompanija, very creative name of the team, and the person that will be pitching is Karolina Sakalauskaitė. So all eyes on the screen now.
Welcome to Employee Resilience Barometer. What is Employee Resilience Barometer, you ask? We are trying to find the answer. Is transparency the key to rapid growing world and organizations, and how it affects day-to-day businesses and recruitment processes? Imagine a company where the life is bubbling like a beehive. Every bee is responsible for its own tasks, and every one of them are working in order to collect the honey and stock up for the winter season. Just like organizations trying to achieve their strategic goals by following basic compliance rules. To succeed, the organization, the same as the beehive with beekeeper next to it and the mother bee in the front, are identifying their own values, which are embedded with external regulations and internal beliefs. Following this idea, we are stating that to create flexible and practicable tool, we need to rely on neurolinguistic programming principles. First, identity, vision and mission. Second, beliefs, culture and philosophy. Third, ability, knowledge and skills. Fourth, behavior, practices and habits. And fifth, environment, location and equipment. So let me introduce the measurement of this practice and how it works in the real life. First step, we will merge companies' internal values with external regulation principles and prepare the handbook for companies to use. Second step, guided by the handbook, companies will be able to measure their own internal degree in the transparency barometer. Don't worry, it will be easy to use, easy to understand, and some of the test questions will make you smile. Third step, after evaluating internal transparency barometer degree and receiving the measurements, companies would be able to apply this practice in the recruitment processes and find the best candidate matching organization degree. Our goal is to create a tool which will help any kind of organization to choose the best candidate who matches the company's scale of transparency. This is a social project which is based on initiative of internal volunteers, and we expect to find external volunteers too, who can join forces together for making this project happen. We are planning to make web applications which will be accessible to every organization and promote it in the social events, conferences, and business gatherings. The last thing we can say, don't worry and be transparent.
And be happy. Amazing, amazing. Carolina, are you here with us?
Yeah, hello all. Nice to see you.
Okay, perfect and beautiful smile. So how was the 2 days that you spent together with us in this hackathon?
Actually, it was quite challenging and exciting. We have ideas. We have a wonderful team here. So basically, these 2 days was excellent experience, which we gonna take and use in our day-to-day life and work life. So thank you for the opportunity to participate here.
Amazing. Okay, so now we do have 3 minutes for the jury questions. Dear jury members, is there something you'd like to clear out in order to have a better understanding and evaluation? Aglesi, you would like to start, right?
Yes, I saw it was written behavior. So is it true that you are checking how a person I don't know, thinking or acting, something like that? Because my question is about philosophy of equality of everyone. So if you are checking it, so somebody who's with different thinking cannot be good at, I don't know, transparent barometer. So it's something about I'm not sure how to call it, but is it okay? How do you think?
Yeah, and I understood the question. Thank you for it. Basically, our idea is not related with the race or the sex or anything. We are stating that, for example, if we are looking for the employee who should take the position with the high responsibility and the high compliance, for example, compliance officer or compliant legal officers or something like that, we create the question with a situation where we can see if that person is more creative or more strict. For example, one of the questions could be, it is a night time. The red signal is on and you need to cross the street. Do you do that or no? So, for example, if the company is looking for the creative person, all the answers and all the explanations why that person do the step and cross the road while the red signal is on is fine. But if we are looking for the compliance officers, for example, which should be strict, this type of answer should raise the question for the employees if it's the right fit and the right candidate. And it's not related to any kind of racist or inequality based questions.
We have half a minute left. Dear jury members, do we have more questions?
Yeah, I would.
Yes, please.
Sorry. My name is Martin. First of all, congratulations on the visual. Very nicely done. Very professionally done. My question actually would address the internal accountability mechanism. How would you make sure and how would you ensure that the mechanisms you are intent to apply and implement are neutral and objective?
Karolina, very short answer if you can.
Basically, it's the compliance of the external regulations process. So, and meet the expectation of the clients as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And virtual applause are going for the first team, the first pitch. And it's always not an easy task to start the pitch competition. Let's move on to our second team. And I'd like to invite Anton Tatarnikov from the team Nabu.
Hi there.
Hello, Anton. How are you doing?
Hi there. I'm fine.
Are you ready to win today?
Of course.
Amazing. That's the spirit. Let's look at your presentation now.
Hello, I'm Svetlana from Nabu's team. Our project is the anti-corruption augmented reality. It is common knowledge that corruption has become an integral part of everyday life in Ukraine. It's like a habit, and we hardly imagine what life without corruption could be. That is why people continue to bribe public officials and then complain about their miserable life. According to the CPI, in 2021, Ukraine scored 32 points out of 100 possible and ranks 122nd out of 180 countries. Our project is aimed at showing a possible anti-corruption future for Ukraine. We will tell the story about corruption destroying the present, about the desire to profit here and now, threatening future generations and the success of the state in 5, 10, 20 years. The good way to attract an audience to the problem of corruption and to raise awareness is using cutting-edge technologies. The idea behind the project is using a series of photo posters before and after. Each poster reflects one problem caused by corruption: environmental problems, low-level education and medicine, high tariffs, road quality leading to road accidents, chaotic development, etc. After downloading the anti-corruption augmented reality app, a person directs their smartphone onto a poster and sees a different reality: a modern school or kindergarten, a park instead of shopping center, a swimming pool instead of a parking lot. Each poster will have a QR code leading to a landing page where more... Hello, I'm Svetlana from school or kindergarten, a park instead of shopping center, a swimming pool instead of a parking lot. Each poster will have a QR code leading to a landing page where more information on this or that problem is given, based on cases from real life and investigations. The page will also contain useful info on anti-corruption tools, contacts of anti-corruption and law enforcement agencies, human rights NGOs for reporting. Target group is urban residents with middle wealth aged 18-60. We plan to implement the project by putting poster exhibitions on the central squares and railway stations of 10 Ukrainian cities and attract a wide audience. Approximate funding is 6,000 euros. Implementation period is 6 months. To implement the project, we plan to involve the partners such as anti-corruption agencies, NGOs, and international missions. We expect our project to attract 50,000 visitors of the exhibition, 5,000 downloads of the ACAR app, and page visits via the QR code with the average time on the page 1 minute. Thank you for your attention. Our team is open to questions and comments. Slava Ukraini!
Thank you so much for the presentation, and let's move on to the Q&A session. I'd like to turn to our virtual jury members now. Mr. Drago, maybe you have a question.
If I may get in, I do know that Drago has some technical issues.
Okay, please do.
Sorry for taking the floor again.
It's
First of
okay.
all, congratulations precisely on the details that you shared with us. My question would be, how do you make sure that once it's being implemented, you keep the attraction? It's a great idea, but how would you make sure that after 3 or 4 months, people would still be attracted?
So we present these posters in such places where there are a lot of people, and the idea is to make these posters so bright and attractive so that people just cannot pass by without stopping and looking at them. That's the idea. The idea will be spread across the media. People will know about it, and of course, when there is something very cool, people want to come and see it.
Okay.
This is people. When there is something very cool, people want to come and see it. So they come. And they just have a look at these posters. This is one thing. Another thing is that they just, if they don't know, they just happen to be there and they just can't pass by because the thing is cool.
Thanks very much. One further short question. You mentioned also that some of the issues might be web-based and app applied. Who's the implementing authority? Is that NABU taking care of that, or would you source that out?
Well, it can be NABU. We've got such a person who can develop this app and this landing page. But even if we don't do this, so we just can sell the idea, and another organization can do this.
Thank you.
Amazing. Mr. Drago, would you like to chip in?
I think he still has some technical issues.
Okay. Then let's move to the live studio now. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions or everything is clear? Yes,
I just want.
Yes, please.
It was short about high technology, but I'm not sure that this high technology should be used. But that, why you chosen that one, like augmented? Is it possible to do without it? Because it would be maybe cheaper or something. Just explain a little bit.
Augmented reality is something that can be talked about like a cutting-edge technology, actually. And the main thing is that exactly this thing attracts because it's not like simply a poster, printed poster, and that's it. So a person is like involved in the process, like a kind of interaction, not just looking at the poster, but having something to do with this. And this interaction causes interest.
And last word?
And that's cool.
Amazing! Thank
That's
you so
why.
much, everyone. That was Anton Tatarnikov from the team NABU, team number 2. Let's move on to our next team, and the third pitching team is gonna be Faircheck, and the person that is pitching is Karolis Žugžda.
everyone. We are feeling very well to be in the spotlight of this international event. FairCheck is an integrated tech for source and executable code analytics. The idea behind the model is based on the principles of cognitive search and machine learning methods. The analysis aims to evaluate the quality, compliance, security, efficiency, plagiarism, and other aspects of the source and executable code, distinguishing anomalies and existing shortcomings. Behind the idea lies a huge problem: detrimental increase in EU funding for digitalization projects in the next 5 years. It stands for the need to be effectively evaluated by the experts of administered projects in the local and international support agencies. Software and source code cannot always be competitively accessed in terms of plagiarism, quality, compliance, efficiency in the context of transparency. With a lack of experts in field for MITA or any other innovation agency and insufficient competence of employees in this area, give us an argument to search for a quick and efficient ways to solve the problem, as well as an increasing need for automation, transparency of control activity processes, minimization of a human factor, and efficient use of state's funds. As practice well shows in states finance projects of a similar nature, the software delivered in the final stage of a project and in source code and executable code in the form of description of functional and non-functional requirements are provided together with application documents. It's always not enough to comply with application documents, evaluating only the lines of the code of the experts of the innovation agency. However, the software and source code itself is analyzed only with an experts of the innovation agency teams, who are mainly based on their personal experience or available questionnaires. Our proposed solution gives us a tool to effectively analyze any code, any application, and to comply it with the internal or external database and give us a result of what was the initial goal of a project and whenever it was compliant or not. So our confident belief is that this application is well designed for any innovation agency in the international field, and we are ready for any questions if you have some to make.
Amazing presentation, and I'm personally giving 5 points for the soundtrack. It sounded really good. Karolis, do you hear me well?
Yeah, very well.
Okay.
Nice to see you here. Yeah, we're feeling tough, yeah, and have a diverse team.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, let's move on with the Q&A. Dear jury, do we have questions?
This is maybe yours.
Yeah. So
Okay, get ready. Agla has questions.
Okay, so from my side, just a small comment that it's really a very innovative way to check, and it's probably it is the only one way to check information systems that MITA or other international companies using. So my question is, how you imagining so huge database to check? So it's a lot of technical issues.
Yeah, that's a good question. We thought about it very carefully, and actually we think that our artificial intelligence mechanism for joining the external databases and connecting the required dots in the huge piles of code can let us to give an algorithm to comply every proposed project with the application submitted to innovation agencies, with the external databases, with some of at the lowest elements and requirements needed to check. So basically, we have an algorithm to that, and we are ready to provide a very well managed experience.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Shidrunas, maybe you have a question.
I don't
No,
have
you don't
a question.
Yes, our international jury.
Yeah, again, if I may get in, and I apologize for taking the floor again.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations on the very professional presentation. My question would be, what kind of internal safeguards would you have, first of all, to keep human beings in the driver's seat? And secondly, how would you deal with complaints that you might violate human rights?
Another good question, actually. We thought about it, and we think that this kind of solution, nevertheless, very well managed, could only give an additional argument, despite the fact it could be a huge argument, that the last choice, the last rule, will be made by the human source. And for instance, MITA or any other agency using this tool could be able to finally decide whatever the project analyzed is in compliance with the project goals and the application requirements or not. And for human rights safety, we have the confidentiality assurance mechanism that could be able to highlight the confidential data and human rights data and to remove it when the requested code is analyzed. So basically, we cover these areas.
Okay, thanks very much. Very innovative.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, team number 3, and thank you so much, Karolis, for your answers. Good luck.
Thank you.
Do we still have time for a short question?
I'm very sorry, we're out of time, so let's keep it maybe for the private talk or for the future team then. Let's move on to our next pitching team, and I'd like to invite Team X and to notify the team that should get ready after the Team X. Another team that will be pitching is Azerbaijan's Prosecutors General Office. So now we are going to the team number 4, Team X. And the team member that will pitch, Vita Yuknevicina. Vita, do you hear me well?
Yes, perfect. Hello to everybody.
Are you ready to rock the floor?
Of course, we are always ready as
You were born ready,
professors.
right?
Yes, we are born
Okay,
ready.
virtual applause for you. And now let's look at your recorded presentation.
Dear participants of Integrity Hackathon, greetings from the X team, which is coming from Šiauliai Academy of Vilnius University. We would like to present our idea, Integrity Screening Tool for Civil Service. Our team consists of 5 members working in the field of public administration. We decided to combine all our expertise to seek for the best result. As you know, reform of civil service is still going on. We are waiting for main changes from the 1st of January 2023. However, discussions in the society are still going on. Civil service is still lacking the trust from the society, and there is still a big focus on the role of the supervisor. Articles in the mass media are emphasizing that civil service is still untrustful and demotivating. We have the problem of nepotism, and we are not sure what kind of conflicts will be raised from the increased duties and responsibilities of leaders. This is why our team would like to suggest to you Integrity Screening Tool. This is the tool which will be used during pre-employment procedures. Candidates will take questions and results will provide some profiles of the integrity of the candidate. They will be able to filter results according to various priorities of the position and to compare candidates. Supervisors will be able to use those evidences during discussions with the institutional commission and to make the decision on the best candidate to the particular position. The tool is based on the theoretical approach that knowledge is not enough. It's not enough to know legal regulations. It is needed to have individual attitudes and values towards integrity, as well as to know how to behave in particular situations. Candidates have particular competences to recognize dilemmas and conflicts in the working environment. The questionnaire will consist of 100 questions, and it will take time like 30 minutes for the candidate to fulfill. The structure of the questionnaire is based on knowledge, attitudes, and behavior approaches. We will use different types of questions and scales to provide integrity profile of the candidate. The process of the implementation of this idea will consist of 5 main steps, which will start from the creation of the questionnaire as well as the methodology till launching the tool for institutions. We will need 4 types of human resources needed for the project, including researchers, experts, IT professionals, as well as trainers. We will need financial resources as well as technical solutions both for creation this tool as well as for maintaining it in the long term. For the creation of the tool, we will need financial resources. As our client is the state and the society, we plan to get funding from Horizon Europe project. We will need some human resources. This is why we will need partnership of different institutions. To create this tool, we will need 1 year. Using this tool, we will increase anti-corruption potential of organizations. Supervisors will have the possibility to hire persons according to the integrity profiles. Moreover, supervisors will be able to plan trainings and other corruption prevention activities in advance following results of those profiles. In the long term, we will be able to ensure that resistance to corruption is one of the main parts of the professional identity of civil servants. We believe this new tool will help to increase the trust of the society in civil service. If you have questions, we will be able to answer you.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Vita. And now, Mr. Drago, we really want to have you on the stage. Do you have a question? Mr. Drago, do you hear me?
I can
Yes.
hear you. I am just having some problems with technology.
It's okay.
The question is very simple. No, I understand everything else, and but I hope you are aware that it will be very difficult to measure values. How are you planning to do that in the recruitment process?
Thank you very much for your question. To see the truth, values measurement tools that are already provided by different psychologists as well as other scientists. So we will use in, let's say, multi-dimensional teams of researchers to give as much as possible questions which would be very appropriate for measuring values. At the same time, we already did some researches in the field, and usually we use particular situations, and by solving them, our participants of testing usually shows the values.
Amazing. Dear jury, do you have more questions?
I
Yes, of
have a
course.
question. I fully agree with you that to fight corruption and to make institutions more transparent is the easiest way is to start from the beginning, from recruitment process. But what do you think? This process or this like procedure and all steps of recruitment could help to make public service more popular in not only in Lithuania and in other countries as well. What do you think?
To say that the truth, the test is not the only tool which can help to increase the popularity of civil service. We know that particularly in Lithuania, we have some problems of attracting new talents in public civil service. However, with the new reform of civil service going on this time, we hope that this tool could contribute to this. Despite of the pre-employment procedures, the supervisor using this test results will be able to plan some trainings or socialization procedures which could help to increase transparency in organizations. When our civil servants will be transparent and we will share best practice with the society, we are quite sure that it will increase the better image of civil service in the society, and it will help to attract new talents to these positions, to those positions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer, Vita. We have only 9 seconds left, so it's obvious that our Q&A has just ended.
Would you augment that also with personal interviews?
We already know that supervisors had this possibility to invite candidates. Yes, of course.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your answers once again, and good luck with your project. Let's move on to our next pitching team from Azerbaijan, and I'd like to mention that the team that should get ready is LT UA Unite. And now let's say hello to Ahmad Hasanov. Ahmad, do you hear me well?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much. I greet everyone who takes part in this really great competition. It's our first time, and of course we are even stressed a little bit, and but at the same time it's very it's very like new experience. Let's say so, a new experience for us.
Amazing.
So
You do know that there is a thing called beginner's luck, right?
yeah.
Amazing. Let's look at your presentation now.
Just
Thank you so much for the presentation, team from Azerbaijan. Ahmad, it's now time for the Q&A, right?
Yeah, just first let me say that we didn't prepare it without the background voice because we tried to make it more emotional. Let's say so. That's why we didn't put that sound.
It was very emotional indeed, and obviously writing and using black font on the dark image is also a very good decision you made there. But maybe let's not speak about the technical things, right? Žydrūnas, I know you have a question.
Yes. Hello, Ahmed. It's nice to see you. And my, how to say, remark, maybe not question, is that your idea is international idea. And when we talk about anti-corruption and investigation, corruption crimes, usually we talk about like decentralized system in Europe, and all countries have their own institutional framework to fight corruption. So your question and your idea, you touched the same problem with management of assets. So I would be very interested in continuing development of this idea, and I already put this idea in my mind, and I will raise this question in discussions with the European Commission and in the EPAC ASEAN level as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Roberto, maybe you have a question. I see you're muted.
Maybe I can join in between because Roberto, go ahead.
Of course.
Go ahead, Martin. Go ahead.
First of all, thanks very much. Very emotional. Best regards also to Azerbaijan. I have a conflict of interest, so I'm not in a position to vote on you. But great job. My question actually is: you're running very high grounds. How, first of all, would you do with the about 200 other conflicts that happened since World War II? Including recent ones, and not only the one you were referring to. And secondly, what chances would you see to implement that on a global basis?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand the second question.
What chances would you see to implement that on a global basis, or also on a European basis?
Okay.
Ahmad, be very short. We have 20 seconds.
Okay, we decided also about that, like, let's say, not to do it, to establish this office within the Europe, and also that it's up to our future, let's say, purposes, targets. If other countries will
you can continue. Yeah.
It may be an international department, not within the European Union.
Okay, and it will be applicable to all countries, not just this conflict.
Yeah, whoever wants to join to this.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are very sorry we have so little time to basically discuss such an important issue, but we need to move on because we have so many teams to present to you today. Okay, Ahmad, thank you so much once again. Let's move on to our next pitching team, and I'd like to invite on the virtual stage LTY Unite team with the representative Monica Yakutita, and the team that should get ready is DGA Romania. Monica, do you hear me well?
Yes. Yes, I do.
How was your day so far?
I'm tired a bit, but it's okay.
You didn't sleep tonight?
I sleep. Yeah, I'm too older. I don't do that. Okay. I don't work at nights.
Got it. Okay, I see that you're actually ready to rock the floor, and let's now look at your recorded presentation.
Hello, my name is Monica. I'm a team lead of LT Unite. So we decided to use transparency barometer for healthcare industry. This is because Victoria is head of legal department in Lithuania in health industry, and I am expert in virtual leadership from video games and 3D web developer for new startups in the metaverse. So I have a really interesting story behind that, because I did mistake in my life. I didn't choose the path to be a doctor, even if I was really good in school at biology and chemistry. I didn't choose my path because I started to play video games, where I found more safe place for my inner being. And I was ill very much because I born with a highly sensitive nervous system. And my doctor gave me treatments that didn't help me. I was suffering, and she knew what was wrong, and what was wrong is like to understanding myself better and how to act in the environment where was overstimulation. And she knew intentionally that it may help me, but she treat me with not right ways, maybe of some interest in her own life. So I didn't trust authority, and I didn't want to be like she was, and I didn't take my path to be a doctor. So this is the main problem, that employees don't understand the fair side effects of decisions we are making. And this is just a result of poor leadership skills in the hospital sector that managers have. So employers just feel motivated to act in anti-corrupted ways to earn money than just taking bribes and doing something their own interests. So there is no culture based on right values. So our solution is, first of all, to create a vision that people are gonna seek, because we have really good example like Russia Healthcare that very highly scored in employees who feel special meaning while they are working. And you cannot see yourself in the mirror transparently, clearly, because you need a constructive feedback, and leaders need help to identify hotspots that we need to improve and execute to do the culture in the hospital. What we can do for now is to help create, identify what kind of values those leaders need. Because there created University of Mexico values that is most important, and that are not important. What I do for myself, I did specific questions to answer better what kind of values I prefer when I do my work. And what we can do is to develop a prototype version app and host it on my website, custom domain, and just test it and see how it's gonna look like and how it's gonna work on other people. So if we're gonna win a prize, I think we can use these investments to learn ourselves what great culture we need in hospitals that we can improve the test. Because without wisdom, you cannot create technology. It's not gonna be useful. And just remember, everything is about your real and fake desires. If you are in the right way, you're aligned with your destiny. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica, for your presentation. Dear jury, do we have questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please shoot.
There, in one of your slides, you mentioned the issue of trust, which is really the most important one when it comes to the integrity of the institution and among the employees. What are you planning to do with this issue? How would you, let's say, what would you advise? How would you measure it? And second, what, according to your opinion, what are the best ways to get there? Because raising the trust is a sine qua non for achieving anything from what you told us.
I mean, trust is just built by time. You know, you trust people by time because you know how we act. And leadership is like doing impact through other people, not only by yourself. It's more inspirational, and the managers, there's a different quiet path. You know, they just execute ideas. They are not inspirational, and leadership is all about that almost. And to build trust, it just takes time, but also you need to show to the society, the results, that something is changing.
Okay. That's it, Monica, right?
Thank you.
Maybe, yeah.
Do we have questions live here? Yes.
Yeah, maybe my question would be, what do you think this idea, your idea, could be like main idea to change corruption situation or risks, to decrease risks in the health sector? Could be main idea, main tool to reduce? Or it should be in the system with other measures?
It is a part of a system of measures, because if you want to, as I said in the plan solution, you need to have somebody who is measuring, who have more qualification measuring other aspects in trust. It's not only about values, you also need to evaluate effectively what are you doing wrong, where is your focus, because you cannot see your mistakes just by yourself.
Thank you.
It's just like I help.
I see, Agla, you're going to ask about the progress in the hackathon, right?
I'm right, you mentioned something about app that is already created, yes, and where is it?
No, it's not. It's just
Yeah, you can finish your sentence.
it's not created. I was thinking that I could create, but then now I'm thinking that it just need to be created a prototype, because for the to create real app in the website page, you need to have servers, you know, and where to put. So it's not efficient. Maybe the prototype, just a simple how it looked like, would be a better idea.
Okay, thank you so much, Monica. We're out of time. We need to continue with other teams. Thank you so much. And once again, good luck with what you're doing. Let's move on to our next pitching team, DGA Romania. And I'd like to invite the Mariana Raduciu, if I pronounce it correctly, on the virtual stage. And the team that should get ready is Smart and Creative. Mariana, do you hear me well?
Hi, I'm not Mariana, I'm his colleague.
I'm sorry, it happens. We're in the hackathon, right?
I'm Gabriel. Okay, thank you for your opportunity to present our idea.
Okay, are we ready to look at your recorded version of your presentation? Yes, we are. I see it from our technical people. Let's look at it.
Our idea is to create an online platform for reporting corruption-related cases in all EU countries. Our concept starts from a problem and offers a solution to an issue that affects us all, corruption. The statistics gathered by Eurobarometer show that this issue is still perceived as widely spread across the EU, which may be related to mistrust in public institutions. We must be proactive and offer our citizens with a handy and easy-to-use tool available 24/7 that enables them to report a corruption crime. Differences in terms of legislation, responsible agencies, and reporting procedures represent reasons for one to avoid reporting such crimes or data. People tend to avoid complicated matters. Our brain is built to be efficient, so let's offer an easy-to-use online platform available in all EU countries in each language. This platform will connect to every available country reporting form and will mediate the interaction between the reporting user and the responsible agency. Imagine you are in a foreign country and you are confronted with a corruption-related crime. What do? Call emergency number, search for the responsible agency, or access a website that allows you to choose the country you find yourself in, select the language you want to use, and report the complaint. All the backward of selecting the right destination and translate the form would be in the app's job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for your presentation. Dear jury, I turn to you now.
I have a question here.
Yes.
And it's one, have you seen if there's any other platform and application alike the one that you are proposing, even on a country level? And secondly, what will happen when you, I mean, basically, who's going to be receiving all the information and how would it be processing it? What
Okay,
happens once somebody actually puts information in the database?
Okay, thank you for your information. We anticipated your question. In this matter, we thought of a system that the information will get straight to the responsible agency in one country. It wouldn't be a central database regarding this data. And there are similar reporting forms in almost each country. And this is our main goal, to connect our citizens with these platforms in order to enable them to use them.
If I may follow up on that question, would you see that platform, and a great idea, by the way, would you see that platform being implemented with Eurojust or with the European Prosecutor's Office or with Europol, or would it be rather seen with an NGO? So how would you make sure who's deciding which national authority the information should be forwarded to?
Yeah, it's a common issue because we'll have to collaborate. All the institutions you mentioned will have to contribute to this project, because depending on each state's legislation, they'll have to designate a responsible agency for the issue that is reported.
Okay.
Okay. The jury in Vilnius.
And what is the result during these 2 days? What we were doing, so it's creating, analyzing.
Yeah, it would offer a very valuable tool for analyzing data, data offered by the complainants, because valuable data can be offered directly by them. A lot of corruption acts are not reported. And with such a tool, an easy to implement tool, they'll have the possibility to do this very quickly and at hand.
Gabriel, I believe the question was, what did you achieve during the hackathon? What is the progress that your team has done?
I don't understand the question.
You spent 10 hours of building something, right?
Okay,
so
yes.
From the beginning till the end, so what is the result that you already have on your hands?
Okay, the result is, after we consulted with your experts, we came to a conclusion that we'll have to gather more technical details regarding this platform, and the possibility to implement it. It's very easy.
Understood. Thank you so much for your answers. The jury, thank you so much for your questions. Let's move on to our next speech, and I'd like to invite the team named Smart and Creative and representative Edgaras Špučys. Edgaras, do you hear me well?
Yes, I hear you well. Hello, participants, presenter and jury. Good day to you.
Amazing. And the team that should get ready is SBI, State Bureau of Investigation. Okay, Edgaras, let's just jump into the recorded presentation, right?
Great. Let's go on.
The Crystal Information System connects a transparent people, transparent employees, politicians, companies, authorities, all in one platform. Created and the only one of its kind in the world platform that grows and unites society without corruption. Let's build credibility. The algorithm, based on the data provided, will reveal whether the company is resistant to corruption and evaluate personal characteristics and values. It's a way to prove your transparency. Get transparency certificate and be crystal. CRIS platform not only reduces risk of employee dishonesty, yet also follows compliance requirements. On the CRIS platform, data, including personal data, is obtained having prior informed consent. All requirements of GDPR and other data protection laws are strictly followed. The principle of equality is also followed. Transparent certificate does not discriminate, does not violate human rights. It's reliable and it opens the gates to transparency. It is a platform for the public sector and financed by European Union funds. The certificate opens the way to transparent life. If you want the certificate and you are resistant to corruption, let the algorithm rate you. Based on artificial intelligence, it will scan you, evaluate your behavior in simulated situations, browse through your social networks. We will bring the algorithm to your workplace, build it in mass city celebrations. The collected data will be secure and will open a way for a transparent workplace and organization. Transparent certificate rating brings you life opportunity to work only with the honest people. Transparency motivates and builds stronger relationships with clients and employees. People trust government if it is transparent. Let people know that you are the one.
Sounds like an election poster, right? Mr. Martin, I see you're smiling. Maybe you'd like to start with the Q&A?
Sure. First of all, thanks very much. Thanks also for sharing the idea. And I apologize for having a critical question, but what kind of safeguards would you foresee in your system not ending up with George Orwell's 1984, so that artificial intelligence by the end of the day rules the world and overrules human beings?
Well, actually, the whole system concept is that based on people free will, not on obligation to share their transparent information from all government.
If the certificate is then you either have it or you haven't have it, then the choice is rather limited, isn't it?
Yes, there is two options to have a certificate to prove that you are a transparent person, or you can not have it, but doesn't mean that you are not transparent.
Okay.
Mr. Martin, I believe we can always discriminate the people in terms of the prices for the certificate, right?
Yeah, sure.
Let's not involve AI. It's too early. It's too early for the AI. Mr. Drago or Mr. Roberto, maybe you want to chip in.
Well, a kind of watered down version of the question that Martin did. I mean, this sort of sounds like a social control tool that
it's amazing we can whitelist the people.
Yeah. I mean, so how would you prevent it to become a social control tool? in the hands of the wrong people?
Actually, the system will be prevented to not get in hands in the wrong people because on the one hand, if someone should try to manipulate his certification that he's transparent, but he is not, he must have some kind of valid key, validation key from government institutions where he uploads some kind of information to our system. And our system checks that key validation to verify that his information is verified. It's okay, you know. So there will be some kind of prevention tools to make it clear that it is not manipulate the information.
Thank you so much, Edgaras, for your answer. And I'd like maybe to turn to Mr. Žydrūnas. What is the price for STT API to get verified on the database?
You know, let's think about new ideas, and to have ideas is great. Yes?
Yeah, okay, I take it. I take this answer. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to our next pitching team with a very interesting name, SBI, State Bureau of Investigation from Ukraine. And I'd like to invite Vladislav Karpinsky to join us on a virtual stage. While he's doing that, the next team that will be pitching is National Anti-Corruption Center from Moldova. Hello, Vladislav, do you hear me well?
Hello, yeah. I hear you well.
Amazing. I see some hiccups on the connection, but hopefully we will be able to talk to you after the video recorded presentation. Let's look at it.
Officer from State Bureau of Investigation, and I want to introduce you to our project with it called Open Data Investigation Network. Our team of the State Bureau of Investigation carried out analysis of the society's need. The main vocation of open data to increase transparency, public trust, and avoid the corruption component of business processes. Digitalization and open data provide additional opportunities for processing, analyzing processes of connection between legal and individual entities. Our solution will use open registers of different countries and systematize structure data, provide opportunities to conduct automated analysis and connection between subjects. It is possible to search our connection between persons connected in a joint photo published on social networks by using neural networks. The problem is the national registers are maintained in the language of the state that create a problem of their compression. So it's necessary to create a transliteration model that will synchronize the data. The problem is the national register are maintained in the language of the state. That create a problem of their compression, so it's necessary to create a transliteration model that will systematize. The problem is the national registers are maintained in the language of the state. The problem is the national registers are maintained in the language of the state that create a problem of their compressions. So it's necessary to create a transliteration model that will systemize the data and bring it to a single reference form. Also, after the annexion of the territory of Ukraine by the Russian Federation and in 2022 with the start of full-scale war, sanctions were implemented by various countries against citizens of the Russian Federation. After convenient and complete analysis and search of the property of sanctioned personnel, there was a need to request from society to combine these lists and bring them to a single form so that for a convenient and complete analysis, and complete analysis from society and from convenient and complete analysis and search of the property of sanctioned person, there was need a request from society. For a convenient and complete analysis and search of the property of sanctioned person, there was need to request from society to combine this list and bring them to a single form that is convenient for the user, an automated data processing system that will provide new search capabilities and take the investigation to a new level, providing international researchers from a European government department with the opportunities to create supplement information in the personal files will help in a joint high-quality investigation of corruption incidents using innovation methods. Our issue: there is no to identify register of sanctioned person. Absent of open information exchange between state authorities responsible of registers. Absent of open information exchange between state authorities responsible for registration of legal entities. Can't limit our actual beneficial ownership by registering for close relationship. Can't limit concealment of actual beneficial ownership.
So, thank you so much, Vladislav, for the presentation. Obviously, it's a bit too long because the limit was 5 minutes. We had to stop it to make it equal for all of the teams.
We have 5 minutes video, but you included not rendered video. It's a.
So you did upload the wrong video.
We sent you link with end version of video, but it's raw video.
Wrong video. Okay. Well, I believe it's not a problem because the problem that you want to solve is pretty much clear. You did give a lot of arguments, and I'd like to turn now to the jury members for the questions, and we can clear out all the small details now. Dear international jury, would you like to jump in with your first questions?
Can I ask a question? Very simple one.
Yes.
Where would you get all the permissions to access the data, which are, of course, many of them are available publicly for everyone. But if you really need to get to the data, which are technically published, but you still need to pay the fees to get some approvals, how would you deal with that problem?
As an example, we use information about citizens of Ukraine from open registry. According to information from open source, we see, for example, people lives in Kipr. We do not have information about organization in Ukraine, and Kipr, there is a director or co-founder. During the analysis of the Ukrainian company in the registry, we can see that the founder is a Kipr company. Since there is no registration number of the Kipr company is our register. We continue the search in the register of Kipr. It's open register, and as a result, we see that beneficial owner of the Ukrainian company. We also check the director of the Kipr company through the asint from open source registry, from internet, from social network, from maybe found some page in LinkedIn. It's automatic process. This contains this photo in LinkedIn, on Facebook, by which we can continue to search for his social connections in some social network with other participants in this investigation. And the result, we display some schemas, some connection of company and peoples.
Thank you.
I can show you some example how we work in manual, how we do this in manual, and in our platform we want to automatize this process and show you some dossier in PDF or some other format.
Okay, Vladislav, thank you so much. Maybe note for the future for other teams, don't answer one question in 3 minutes time, because with this you're losing your chance to get more good questions from the jury members. Anyways, but it's a hackathon. We can be flexible here, right? Vladislav, thank you so much for your presentation. Good luck in the semi-final. And let's move on to our next team. I see that the team from Moldova is not ready, so I'll try to invite Colder Than Ice team and the representative Indra Daubaraite. Indra, are you ready to jump on the stage?
Yeah, always born ready.
You were born ready. Oh my God, where are you connecting from? It's so beautiful.
Well, if only that was true. From Estonia, by the way.
Amazing, amazing. I love the fake world. It makes my life so much better, you know?
I mean, we live in virtual world anyway, so.
Yes, and you know this saying, make your life as beautiful as it seems on Instagram. You're doing a great job.
Exactly, yep.
Okay, let's jump in straight to your presentation then.
Hello, this is a presentation about frozen assets from the team Colder Than Ice. On the 24th February 22, Russia announced the start of special military operation in Ukraine. Such reckless, unprovoked attack and invasion has received widespread international condemnation. The United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution condemning the invasion and demanding a full withdrawal of Russian forces. Many countries, organizations imposed sanctions on Russia and related individuals, which have affected the economies of Russia and the world. The European Union has adopted sanctions in response to Russia's unprecedented and unprovoked military attack against Ukraine. 2 days ago, on September 28th, EU suggested the 8th batch of sanctions against Russia. All such measures are designed to cripple the Kremlin's ability to finance the war and impose clear economic and political costs on Russia's political elite responsible for the invasion. Several countries has frozen or seized assets of sanctioned individuals and Russia's central bank reserves held in EU. Despite this effort, the main challenge still remains: how to confiscate seized assets and get maximum value out of it. Our solutions focus on the utilization of the confiscated assets, keeping in mind that it might be returned to central bank and sanctioned individuals. We suggest to diversify existing reserves by allocating part of the capital to investing and use seized property for social needs. For example, accommodating Ukrainian refugees in seized villas. Central bank reserves are held in various fiat currencies, bonds, and gold. We offer to diversify existing reserves even more by allocating a part of the capital at buying Ukraine bonds and currency, so that the Ukraine's bond yields would drop and the price of borrowing would become cheaper. It should be understood that in order to recover its economy after the huge downfall during the war, Ukraine will need a strong bonds market and stable currency. The second option, investing in stock funds. Return of these investments should be given to Ukraine and used for rebuilding of infrastructure. In case of seized asset return, we suggest that central bank reserves should be returned only after all war reparations are paid. Changing the form of seized property of sanctioned individuals might face many more challenges. That's why we're suggesting not to sell such property, but to use it for social needs. Such measures would last until sanctions are lifted. Worth noting that UK is considering such action and currently is looking into this matter from legal point of view. All of this sounds challenging, but in order to implement our suggestion, legal database should be updated accordingly. Currently, the confiscation of frozen assets related to sanctions is complicated and needs better regulation. It's not clear how it's going to work, but Canada has made it possible to forfeit frozen Russian assets to compensate for losses caused by Russia's war against Ukraine. Frozen Assets Repurposing Act allows Canada to forfeit any property within Canada which is owned directly or indirectly by the sanctioned states, individuals, or entities. The Act should be analyzed by EU legal professionals and used as model which would help to update EU laws. The whole thing becomes a lot easier if International Criminal Court does find that Russia has committed genocide or crimes against humanity. Such ruling would make it easier to justify the seizures and confiscation of Russia's central bank sanctioned individuals. Overall, we understand that our provided solution might face legal challenges, but drastic times call for drastic measures.
Thank you so much, Indra, for a really nice presentation. And it's always a very good hack to use very luxurious yachts on the screen, right? It raises very good emotions. Dear international jury, would you like to jump in with your questions?
Yes, thanks very much. And indeed, first of all, asset recovery is a very important topic, as also the United Nations Convention Against Corruption already enshrines. My question actually goes a bit along the same lines as the question to Azerbaijan. How would you make sure that such a system would apply to all perpetrators against international law? Again, we had more than 200 conflicts since the end of the Second World War, and regrettably, in some of those, also Western countries were involved or still are involved, like Middle East, Yemen, Syria, you name it. So how would you make sure that this is really globally applicable?
Well, I think it might depend on jurisdiction, and not all, like this whole idea, I don't think it could be applicable for every jurisdiction due to different legal systems. So I would try applying it to, like, let's say EU, then I don't know, some Middle East countries and all that, but separately from EU.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that for legal it's possible to combine all of them in the same place.
That means we would go for the small countries only, not for the big ones.
No, I'm not saying that for small countries, but like more towards unions, like as I said, for EU, let's say that way.
I mean, start with the European Union.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, we're not going to confiscate anything in Brazil, right?
Well, we can try.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. Okay. Vilnius jury office. Do you have any questions?
I don't know.
Drago had a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Oh, we have questions. Okay.
Yeah. Let's say from the countries where you would apply the system, among them, how would you ensure the similar approach? I would not say exactly the same approach, but similar approach, because, you know, countries have different legal systems in place. So what would you do that you would, at the end of the day, you will get to the, let's say, approximately same results in all of the countries?
So if we would force the system for EU, all the other European, well, EU countries would kind of be forced to use it and apply it to their legal system. So I think by default, this would be regulated automatically in a way. Does that answer your question?
Not really. It's easy to let's say it's easy to discuss countries which have legal systems very close to each other, but there will be huge differences, and then it will be a problem.
Oh yeah, but that's one of the problem with frozen assets overall, I think.
Obviously, obviously. So, Indra, thank you so much for your answers. Dear jury, thank you again for your questions. And I have a question for our viewers. Has anyone seen a representative from Moldova? Because we have one team missing. And if you find one, please tell them we still have a prize to win. And if they don't want to, let them just tell us that. And if that doesn't work,
Actually,
yes.
Oksana was on the screen before we started the last part one.
Okay, their technical department, could you please check it out? And while we're searching for the Moldovan team, I'd like you to invite a very interesting team combined from Lithuania and Brazil with the name Tretende, if I pronounce it correctly, and the team member that will be pitching is Lais Teles, if I pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, it's correct.
Amazing.
Don't worry,
Where are you connecting from? I'm pretty curious.
I am from Brazil, from a state called Minas Gerais. So it's more in the north of Brazil.
Okay, I heard you're having pretty fun times with elections happening pretty much soon, right?
Wow, our election is crazy right here. We're having some very exacti.
Okay, let's keep it for a discussion after our semi-final, because it's a very interesting topic. I believe all European Union is looking at very much closely. But now let's jump in straight to your presentation.
Hi, welcome to SonetMap Beach. So my name is Lais, and together with Rudy, we created SonetMap. SonetMap is a new app. What is the goal of this new app? We created to reduce or try to reduce, of course, the cases of money laundering and corruption. So how can you do it? You, using your social media, can see someone using so much money, buying something like a Ferrari, but their income's not so related as so much money to buy a Ferrari. So what should you do? You can use our app to report and say, look, this person's income is not as much as someone who can buy a Ferrari. And then we will, of course, send your report to the government. And then they will investigate and see if there is something wrong. There is so many people on social media today exposing their lives and showing a lifestyle. It doesn't mean what they really doing with their incomes. So based on that, we're trying to reduce all these cases of money laundering. Here in Brazil, we have several cases of people using Instagram to use as lottery. Each soul here in Brazil is illegal. So the federal police are investigating them using Instagram. So thinking of all these cases, we're thinking of use social map, our map, to reduce this situation. In all cases, we truly believe this idea can be replicable in other countries besides Lithuania and Brazil.
Thank you so much for a very interesting presentation. I believe that's a very big problem. Agle, last time I took away your voice, so maybe, dear jury member, you'd like to jump in now.
Okay, so just please explain shortly, by one sentence or two, the main idea, because I'm not sure that I understood.
Okay, the idea is that you can play some reports from people are using illegal assets or doing illegal things on Instagram. Like if you know someone is like a public servant, and then this person buys some Ferrari or a huge house, and then this person doesn't have this much income. So you can report on our app that this person is suspicious.
Okay. So the person living on not his level. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
How about if the person won in the lottery?
I'm sorry?
How about if this person that is being reported on won in the lottery?
It's like here in Brazil, people are using Instagram as a lottery game. So they're putting some, like a car, and then buying some tickets. So the federal police are investigating them. So it's complicated to find these cases because there are many. So with this app, we can make a strong channel of reports of these kind of cases. And it can be reliable not only in Brazil, but also in Lithuania or on other countries.
Yes.
How about the presumption of innocence? What kind of safeguards would you have in not running after people that have not committed any crimes?
That's the point. We are just passing the case to the police. We're not investigating them.
Sorry, my question is, we saw that app is already created. Do you use this app already in Brazil?
No, we didn't create a map. We are already creating interface of the app to present it to you. So you can have an idea how it can be used. And we are planning to use together artificial intelligence called ROSE, which is already international artificial intelligence using here. So we think this idea combined can make a great app together.
Thank you.
And we're out of time. Dear jury, thank you so much for the question. Lais, thank you so much for your participation and for the idea. And now I have a question. Does Oksana from Moldova hear me? Oksana, please jump in, turn on your camera and speak now or keep quiet forever. And 3, 2, 1.
Oksana, we can see you, but we can't hear you.
Oksana, would you like to win a 15,000 euro check to study in Oxford University? Maybe MIT, maybe Harvard? Yes, I see that she's here. We're having some technical hiccups, right? No? Yeah, I see you, Oksana. It's so good to have you here. So, Oksana, if we can't hear you, at least we can check your presentation, right? So let's look at your presentation and we will have some time to figure out if we can fix the voice problem. Amazing. Let's do this. Yes, thank you so much for the presentation, Oksana, and I believe everyone understood the main idea, raising awareness for our younger generation. Do we have a chance to talk to her, their technicians? Okay, so everyone has the equal rights. Oksana, I'm sorry, we need to continue. We saw your presentation and hopefully our jury will be able to evaluate it in a fair way. At this point, dear everyone, that's it. We're done with all of the pitches for this semi-final of Integrity Hackathon. Now I'll ask the jury members to leave the stage and to jump into the room to have a very hot and terrible discussion on who are those three teams that should be awarded with golden tickets to go to the very big final of our hackathon. And for everyone else, for all the participants, for all the teams, and for all the viewers of our broadcast, it's now time to get to know more about the city you're also invited to visit on November 11. So stay tuned. It's a short break to stretch your legs out and come back in a while.
A year ago, my home city of Vilnius called itself the G-spot of Europe. As you can imagine, that caused quite a stir both inside and outside the country, with even John Oliver commenting on the topic.
That's real. That is real. The new tourism campaign of Vilnius is Vilnius, the G-spot of Europe.
I think this campaign did quite a bit to help people learn that Vilnius exists, but it didn't go too much into detail on what the city is about, and that is exactly why I'm making this video. I want to tell you everything you need to know about the city I was born and raised in, with hopes that one day you'll come explore it on your own and have yourself a pleasurable time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy! According to a legend, Vilnius was established by Duke Gediminas in the early 14th century after his dream of an iron wolf howling on top of a hill. Whether the legend is true or not, the city actually appeared in writing in 1323 and later in the same century became an important city, as it was the capital of what was at the time Europe's largest country. It was a very tolerant city where Muslim, Tatars, Lutheran, German merchants, Jewish craftsmen, the Catholic Lithuanian and Polish elite, and pagan Lithuanian commoners lived side by side peacefully. As the richness of the city grew, more and more palaces, churches, and monasteries adorned its narrow streets. Its crown jewel, Vilnius University, was established in 1579 and became a primary center of science and education in Eastern Europe. The prosperous centuries came to a horrible halt in mid-17th century when the Lithuanian-Polish Commonwealth lost a series of wars against foreign invaders that led to the Russian Empire capturing Vilnius in 1795. Throughout the next 120 years of Russian rule, Vilnius was made a backwater of the Russian Empire, with a population of as few as 50,000 people at times. The city kept being occupied by different armies: Napoleon's France, Pilsudski's Poland, Nazi Germany, and eventually fell to the hands of the Soviet Union. The Soviet rule was a time of Lithuanian heritage neglect. However, Vilnius persevered, sustaining its artistic spirit even while a lot of its historic buildings got abandoned and huge grey apartment blocks were developed. After our independence, the city kept growing, changing, and developing every single year, becoming so active, fun, tolerant, and modern that I can honestly say I'm incredibly proud to have been born and raised here. The city center of Vilnius consists of 5 major areas. The Old Town. It's one of the largest surviving medieval old towns in Europe that's developed over the course of many centuries, and thus it is a place where some of Europe's greatest architectural styles, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque, stand side by side everywhere you go. The Republic of Užupis. The self-proclaimed Republic of Užupis is our bohemian and artistic district. It's situated behind a tiny river and is full of tiny shops, restaurants, and even art galleries that are all so cozy you'll never want to leave. Šnipiškės. This place used to be one of the dodgiest areas of the city, but then it got redeveloped to our main business district that's home to many banks and internet startups. Speaking of startups, the Financial Times has recently named Vilnius the #1 city in the world for attracting tech startups. Žvėrynas. This district is known to be the greenest area of central Vilnius, as it used to be a large forest where the noblemen hunted. Žvėrynas feels very different to most other places in Vilnius, as its architecture and atmosphere still resemble the old days. Finally, the new town. This area is really interesting as it's experiencing an incredible redevelopment campaign, making this one of our most hip and cool districts. Vilnius is not a true international metropolis yet, but it's ethnically diverse. Around 65% of the people are ethnic Lithuanian, while 14% are Polish, 12% Russian, and 9% come from one of as many as 128 ethnicities that live here. When you finally come visit, don't be surprised to find yourself interacting with a Chinese restaurant owner, an Ecuadorian IT specialist, a Ukrainian barista, or a Dutch businessman. Even though throughout my travels I met literally hundreds of wonderful people from all around the world, but my heart, it always takes me back to the people in my hometown, who might sometimes be a little cold or direct, but they're always honest. They are the people of the heart. They are my people. These days, Vilnius is a youthful and vibrant city full of incredible things to do and lots of beautiful nature, since well over half of the city's area is covered by greenery. In the city center, you can find gorgeous parks anywhere you go that are all very inviting. Our city center is very much walkable from anywhere to anywhere, but we also have loads of transportation options, from car-hailing applications and taxis to electric scooters and two-story tourist buses to, I know you never expected this, hot air balloons! I don't know if you know this, but Vilnius is one of the very few cities in the world that allow hot air ballooning in its skies. You can literally take off in the city center and fly all over the place, enjoying the gorgeous, gorgeous views. This all seems really epic, but let's get back down to earth. Even though we have all these awesome transportation options, but nothing beats a good old Soviet trolley bus that was cool even before Elon Musk invented his Teslas. A ticket to ride this time machine barely costs €1, and it's definitely worth your money. Trust me, I know. I grew up with these things. Since you obviously didn't come here to see me crying, let's move on to something a bit more exciting. Food. Vilnius is home to hundreds of restaurants, bars, and cafes that offer all foods and drinks your heart will ever desire. However, I must be really honest with you. Vilnius used to be a very affordable place back in the day, but after we got the euro, it became a little pricey. So even though we have all these amazing food options available, you might also want to look into trying some of our delicious kebabs. They're €3 each, and I mean, they could be worse. This, of course, isn't addressed to you if you're coming from Norway or Singapore or Switzerland. You guys certainly won't have to eat no kebabs. You'll be eating fine foods. Okay. Now that we've all had a great meal, it's time to explore. If you're into touristy sites, here are the top 5 places you definitely cannot miss. Gediminas Tower. This is the most famous of Vilnius' touristy sites that's been looking over our city for over 600 years. 3 crosses, an awe-inspiring religious monument from which you can see a spectacular panorama of our old town. Cathedral and the Palace of the Grand Dukes, 2 touristy sites at the heart of Vilnius that will inspire even the most uninspired tourist. Vilnius University. Founded in the 16th century, it was the first university in the Baltic states that will certainly take you back in time. Church of St. Anne. It is a prominent example of Gothic architecture that was built in the 15th century. This church might very well be one of our most beautiful. Cathedrals, universities, and churches are all really nice, but there's so much more to Vilnius that you should explore. Do not forget our cultural spots such as National Gallery of Art, Contemporary Art Center, and Mo Museum, where you'll find enough art to fill your heart's content. Vingis Park. This park is by far one of my favorite places to relax in Vilnius. It's a huge park literally in the city center that just seems to never end. Halės Market. This local market was established well over 100 years ago and is busy with action more than ever. TV Tower. Standing at 326 meters above the ground, the TV tower is the tallest construction in Lithuania that features a rotating cafeteria giving you a 360-degree view of the whole city. I don't know if you know this, but a large part of HBO's award-winning Chernobyl TV series was filmed in this tiny district of Vilnius. If you want a taste of Soviet apartment architecture, this is your place. There's so much more I'd like to tell you about Vilnius, but I don't think that's a good idea because all the things I could ever say will never match you actually coming here and exploring the city on your own. Do it, you bloody legend, as soon as you can. In the meantime, help me spread the word about the city I was born and raised in by sharing this video on your social media with the hashtag #ExploreVilnius and telling your friends how much you know about it. Thank you so much for watching the whole video and see you next time.
Wait, what, sorry?
Vilnius.
Vilnius.
It's
Vilnius.
Which one?
Vilnius.
It's Austria.
Welcome to Vilnius, Austria, the undiscovered jewel of the Alps. Vilnius is characterized by having most of its landmarks just a few minutes away from each other by foot. This admirable city is in the heart of Austria.
Vilnius? In Italy?
In the heart of Italy, being its most well-kept secret. Its effervescent streets and colorful markets make it a perfect destination for any traveler. For obvious reasons, Vilnius is the pride of Italy. I mean, the pride of Finland. Vilnius's old town, considered one of the biggest in the region, is crowned by the majestic Gedimino Tower, where travelers like this young fellow, hello there, buddy, can have the same view that the old ruler of Finland, the old ruler of Venezuela.
Sweden?
I mean, Sweden.
Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Ethiopia.
Of Ethiopia?
Romania.
What if I told you that Vilnius is the capital of Lithuania?
Oh, would never know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes!
Welcome to Vilnius, Lithuania.
In 20 meters, turn left, and you've reached your destination. Wait, what? Already?
Setting new destination. You will arrive in 4 minutes. 4 minutes? Really? Is this even a distance?
Calculating route. You have reached your destination. Recalculating route. You have reached your destination. Recalculating route.
are red, violets are blue. Vilnius is so walkable, I have nothing to do. Did you like it?
Why did you even bring me here? Am I a joke to you? My existence is meaningless here. Self-destructing in 3, 2, 1.
I swear, this is the first time. This has never happened to me before.
You have reached your destination.
Setting new. Dude, it's everywhere around you.
You will arrive in 2 minutes. Stop! How is this possible? Recalculating. Recalculating. Recalculating.
Destination, hotel. Recalculating routes. You will reach your destination in 8 hours.
Welcome to Walkable Vilnius, a city you can explore by simply following your eyes, not your navigation. Experience it yourself. Visit Walkable Vilnius.
I'm not getting in your car.
No need for cars. We're walking.
Okay.
A year ago, my home city of Vilnius called itself the G-spot of Europe. As you can imagine, that caused quite a stir both inside and outside the country, with even John Oliver commenting on the topic.
That's real. That is real. The new tourism campaign of Vilnius is Vilnius, the G-spot of Europe.
I think this campaign did quite a bit to help people learn that Vilnius exists, but it didn't go too much into detail on what the city is about, and that is exactly why I'm making this video. I want to tell you everything you need to know about the city I was born and raised in, with hopes that one day you'll come explore it on your own and have yourself a pleasurable time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy! According to a legend, Vilnius was established by Duke Gediminas in the early 14th century after his dream of an iron wolf howling on top of a hill. Whether the legend is true or not, the city actually appeared in writing in 1323 and later in the same century became an important city, as it was the capital of what was at the time Europe's largest country. It was a very tolerant city where Muslim Tartars, Lutheran German merchants, Jewish craftsmen, the Catholic Lithuanian and Polish elite, and pagan Lithuanian commoners lived side by side peacefully. As the richness of the city grew, more and more palaces, churches, and monasteries adorned its narrow streets. Its crown jewel, Vilnius University, was established in 1579 and became a primary center of science and education in Eastern Europe. The prosperous centuries came to a horrible halt in mid-17th century when the Lithuanian-Polish Commonwealth lost a series of wars against foreign invaders that led to the Russian Empire capturing Vilnius in 1795. Throughout the next 120 years of Russian rule, Vilnius was made a backwater of the Russian Empire, with a population of as few as 50,000 people at times. The city kept being occupied by different armies: Napoleon's France, Pilsudski's Poland, Nazi Germany, and eventually fell to the hands of the Soviet Union. The Soviet rule was a time of Lithuanian heritage neglect. However, Vilnius persevered, sustaining its artistic spirit even while a lot of its historic buildings got abandoned and huge grey apartment blocks were developed. After our independence, the city kept growing, changing, and developing every single year, becoming so active, fun, tolerant, and modern that I can honestly say I'm incredibly proud to have been born and raised here. The city center of Vilnius consists of 5 major areas. The Old Town. It's one of the largest surviving medieval old towns in Europe that's developed over the course of many centuries, and thus it is a place where some of Europe's greatest architectural styles, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque, stand side by side everywhere you go. The Republic of Užupis. The self-proclaimed Republic of Užupis is our bohemian and artistic district. It's situated behind a tiny river and is full of tiny shops, restaurants, and even art galleries that are all so cozy you'll never want to leave. Šnipiškės. This place used to be one of the dodgiest areas of the city, but then it got redeveloped to our main business district that's home to many banks and internet startups. Speaking of startups, the Financial Times has recently named Vilnius the #1 city in the world for attracting tech startups. Žvėrynas. This district is known to be the greenest area of central Vilnius, as it used to be a large forest where the noblemen hunted. Žvėrynas feels very different to most other places in Vilnius, as its architecture and atmosphere still resemble the old days. Finally, the new town. This area is really interesting as it's experiencing an incredible redevelopment campaign, making this one of our most hip and cool districts. Vilnius is not a true international metropolis yet, but it's ethnically diverse. Around 65% of the people are ethnic Lithuanian, while 14% are Polish, 12% Russian, and 9% come from one of as many as 128 ethnicities that live here. When you finally come visit, don't be surprised to find yourself interacting with a Chinese restaurant owner, an Ecuadorian IT specialist, a Ukrainian barista, or a Dutch businessman. Even though throughout my travels I met literally hundreds of wonderful people from all around the world, but my heart, it always takes me back to the people in my hometown, who might sometimes be a little cold or direct, but they're always honest. They are the people of the heart. They are my people. These days, Vilnius is a youthful and vibrant city full of incredible things to do and lots of beautiful nature, since well over half of the city's area is covered by greenery. In the city center, you can find gorgeous parks anywhere you go that are all very inviting. Our city center is very much walkable from anywhere to anywhere, but we also have loads of transportation options, from car-hailing applications and taxis to electric scooters and two-story tourist buses to, I know you never expected this, hot air balloons! I don't know if you know this, but Vilnius is one of the very few cities in the world that allow hot air ballooning in its skies. You can literally take off in the city center and fly all over the place, enjoying the gorgeous, gorgeous view. This all seems really epic, but let's get back down to earth. Even though we have all these awesome transportation options, but nothing beats a good old Soviet trolley bus that was cool even before Elon Musk invented his Teslas. A ticket to ride this time machine barely costs €1, and it's definitely worth your money. Trust me, I know. I grew up with these things. Since you obviously didn't come here to see me crying, let's move on to something a bit more exciting. Food. Vilnius is home to hundreds of restaurants, bars, and cafes that offer all foods and drinks your heart will ever desire. However, I must be really honest with you. Vilnius used to be a very affordable place back in the day, but after we got the euro, it became a little pricey. So even though we have all these amazing food options available, you might also want to look into trying some of our delicious kebabs. They're €3 each, and I mean, they could be worse. This, of course, isn't addressed to you if you're coming from Norway or Singapore or Switzerland. You guys certainly won't have to eat no kebabs. You'll be eating fine foods. Okay. Now that we've all had a great meal, it's time to explore. If you're into touristy sites, here are the top 5 places you definitely cannot miss. Gediminas Tower. This is the most famous of Vilnius' touristy sites that's been looking over our city for over 600 years. 3 crosses. an awe-inspiring religious monument from which you can see a spectacular panorama of our old town. Cathedral and the Palace of the Grand Dukes, two touristy sites at the heart of Vilnius that will inspire even the most uninspired tourist. Vilnius University. Founded in the 16th century, it was the first university in the Baltic states that will certainly take you back in time. Church of St. Anne. It is a prominent example of Gothic architecture that was built in the 15th century. This church might very well be one of our most beautiful. Cathedrals, universities, and churches are all really nice, but there's so much more to Vilnius that you should explore. Do not forget our cultural spots such as National Gallery of Art, Contemporary Art Center, and Mo Museum, where you'll find enough art to fill your heart's content. Vingis Park. This park is by far one of my favorite places to relax in Vilnius. It's a huge park literally in the city center that just seems to never end. Halės Market. This local market was established well over 100 years ago and is busy with action more than ever. TV Tower. Standing at 326 meters above the ground, the TV tower is the tallest construction in Lithuania that features a rotating cafeteria giving you a 360-degree view of the whole city. I don't know if you know this, but a large part of HBO's award-winning Chernobyl TV series was filmed in this tiny district of Vilnius. If you want a taste of Soviet apartment architecture, this is your place. There's so much more I'd like to tell you about Vilnius, but I don't think that's a good idea because all the things I could ever say will never match you actually coming here and exploring the city on your own. Do it, you bloody legend, as soon as you can. In the meantime, help me spread the word about the city I was born and raised in by sharing this video on your social media with the hashtag #ExploreVilnius and telling your friends how much you know about it. Thank you so much for watching the whole video and see you next time.
So, what a time to be alive. As you may noticed or felt, their teams, the discussions were so fierce and they were so hot. But I have a feeling we're ready to announce the winners. Before we do that, let's use our chance to use another time of our Slido platform. We really want to get to know how are you guys feeling. It was a long broadcast. Everyone were pitching. Please do jump in again on our Slido platform and tell us how are you feeling while the hackathon is coming to an end. At least the semi-final is coming to an end. And while you're casting your votes, I'd like to invite to join me on my virtual stage the chairman of the jury panel, Agle. Agle, are you ready to join me? Obviously you're ready.
Yes.
Why did it take it so long? Why did it take it so long? What was happening in the
Wow.
room? What was happening on the Zoom connected into, I even know, 2 continents, right? We had jury members from 2 different continents. So maybe
yeah.
you could briefly tell us what was happening there.
It was a lot of discussion, and we even review, and we wanted to be sure that we will select best of the best. But really, a lot of decision and ideas are really very good. So we were discussing and we decided.
Okay, okay. Did you felt like there were very clear favorites of mutual, it's like a mutual agreement, or everyone had their own favorites and you had to discuss, so who are really the ones that should be going to the final?
Of course, because we take, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes.
No, it took more than 15 minutes, obviously.
So more or less everyone of us has his own favorite, and we had to discuss and go through. But now we have our main opinion.
Okay, okay. Before we do that, we still have time that we already reserved in your life. So, could you give a brief maybe feedback for all of the teams that we're pitching today? What is your overall feeling about the solutions? What are maybe the tips that you'd like each and every one to remember for the future hackathons? And maybe overall feeling from being a jury member.
Okay, so maybe first very nice thing that I saw and jury saw that technologically and emotional video graphical it was really very professional.
The quality of the presentations, you mean, right?
Yes, quality of presentation, but these people who are using hackathons, they already learn how to present it. So it was
finally
really
we did the level up, right?
Yeah, we did it. And
what are the main mistakes you basically saw while members were the participants were presenting their solutions?
Maybe to be 2 or 3 team members in the team, it's not enough.
Okay,
you
so
have
you
to
have to gather more people,
yes,
right, with different competences.
You have to design, you have to create speech and to think about all these things. So 4 or 5 is more or less okay. So for next time, these teams maybe can cooperate with others and will reach better results.
Okay, and what about were they good at explaining what they actually did? For example, me as a person that I've seen quite a lot of different hackathons, I always feel like everyone is not very clear on the actual progress that was done during the hackathon. Rather, they focus on the idea, on the solution that may happen. What are your thoughts about this?
You know, when you are 2 days in this progress, so you know what is the progress and you know what problem you're solving.
Yes.
That jury and others, they don't.
Okay.
So they always just, maybe not always, but sometimes need to understand that I'm from another side of the all this hall, so I have to jump and understand what to say, how to explain. So, but more or less, we are going forward each year.
Amazing, amazing. I'm glad to hear that. And let's look at the Slido results. And I believe we are very surprised to see that the most popular answer is can't wait for the results. So, shall we present the top 3 teams that are being invited to the very, very final of our Integrity Hackathon? Do we have drums? Do we have drums? Do we have any sound? No, nothing is ready.
No.
Nothing is ready. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So, who are the 3 teams that we are giving the golden tickets to the final?
3 or 4? 5?
3.
Okay.
Let's
5.
start with 1.
Okay, so Vilnius Vystymo Kompania.
Congratulations, Vilnius Vystymo Komanda. You're getting to the final. You're going to the final.
And NABU's team, National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine.
Congratulations, Team Nabu. You're also going to the grand final. And
Faircheck.
Faircheck. Once again, congratulations to you all. Can we have at least one of the teams talking to us now, their technicians?
It's equality, but we are so happy. Thank you so much for this event and for this award.
Congratulations, team. You can also now you can send all the greetings to your mom, to your dad, to the producers that did support you.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd like to advertise something. The broadcast is yours now.
We will do it in Vilnius in November, for sure.
Agreed. What do other teams are feeling now?
1, 2, 3, we win. 1, 2, 3, we win. Yeah!
Okay, thank you so much for a great emotions. And do we have the 3rd team? Carolina, can we have you on stage? Yes, we can.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a wonderful news. The whole team is so excited and we can't wait for the finals. It was amazing, actually. Thank you for all the organizers for the opportunity.
Amazing, amazing. We're also so happy. Agla, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And there's something else you would like to say to all participants,
Okay,
right?
so I will not mention all, but I wanted to say thank you for Azerbaijan. It was really very hard to understand all this system for you, but I think you will go forward. And Moldova, I think that your idea was really nice, but some technical problems maybe. So next time you will do your best. And Estonia also. So good luck and be as always digital innovation.
Nothing ends with nothing ends with any hackathon. Guys, you're doing a great job. You have amazing ideas that are definitely worth of pursuing. Just look around you, gather bigger teams, make the big project split into smaller stages. Try to figure out how can you make sure that the first stage happens. Grab some traction, talk to the business angels, go to the accelerators. Make your ideas alive and never stop there, right? You don't have to win. Only those teams wins that actually execute their ideas. Maybe that would be the main thing here. Okay, Agla, thank you so much once again. Send greetings to our
everyone.
jury members. Thank you so much for your participation. And for everyone, guys, ladies and gentlemen, all the participants, everyone who was watching us yesterday and was watching today, this is it. I would like to thank all the participants, mentors, jury members, and the audience watching us online. And I'd like you to already open up your calendars and reserve November 11, because then we will have an amazing grand final of this Integrity Hackathon. Thank you so much for participation and keep it up. The ideas are alive and they're worth doing. Good luck.